Hello everyone, welcome back to another episode here on Warriors Amongst Men. I'm very excited to be back with you once again. Today we're going to be talking about the magician consciousness. And this is a very exciting and important topic. We're talking about the highest level of consciousness that a human being has access to. And this is really about enlightenment and understanding yourself. It's about self-mastery and having full respect for yourself and full love for yourself, and just having an understanding of what is real. When we talk about spirituality, what we're really talking about is reality. We're talking about truth, right? And the word reality literally has the word real in it. We're talking about what is real. And the most powerful human being on the planet is the one who is the most real. And it's the one who is the magician. So I want to talk about the magician consciousness today, because many of us, we feel we've got so many problems in life, don't we? You know, and many times the adversity hits and we feel like the monkey on our back is 1,000-pound gorilla or something. And you know, what is really happening though? What is the dynamic that we experience as human beings? Because we do not have to allow external events to control our internal condition. I know many of you have heard this sort of sayings before, and I'm not going to go down the road of just alchemizing your experience, which is very powerful also. Like, for example, you want to, you know, I want to make this video right now, and then people walk past and my brain wants to be like, oh Sam, what will people think of you? Or maybe it's embarrassing to talk in front of other people, and then you alchemize that situation. That's one form of alchemy. That is part of being a magician, alchemizing your experience. But what I really want to talk about is what it actually entails, not something I've read in a book. This is coming from my own experience. You know, at a base level, most people, when you speak to most people, and if you haven't gone through a spiritual awakening, you only know yourself at a base level, on a surface level, and it's hard to speak to most people about deeper subjects because they just don't know. They're not aware of that deeper layer of themselves. And I always say, you know, if you know yourself 20 feet deep and you meet someone that knows themselves, you know, 100 feet deep, you can only see 20 feet into them, if that makes sense. So it can be a very lonely road for some people that are, you know, going through a spiritual awakening, and you start to know yourself on such a deep level. That means that you know other people on such a deep level also. And you know, sometimes you might find that your energy might repel people a little bit, or make people feel uncomfortable. Maybe people are laughing at you, or maybe people are constantly staring at you, or your energy is affecting your experience around you, of course. But if you just know yourself at a base level and you haven't gone through a spiritual awakening and you only know what you've been told, your mind is still under a spell. The magician isn't about believing what they're told. The magician is about knowing it for themselves. You know, and you might walk around and think, why are people looking at me differently now I've had a spiritual awakening? Why is my energy affecting other people to react in different ways when I'm around them? And I speak to people every single day in one-to-one sessions. I have a mentorship where I literally help people through these experiences. So this isn't just coming from my experience. Many people that I speak to have the same experience. But what's the difference between someone that's gone for a spiritual awakening and someone that's not gone for a spiritual awakening? What's the difference between the magician and someone who's still at the base level? Obviously there's different layers in between, but someone who's gone for a spiritual awakening, you know yourself more because you've researched yourself, you're questioning, what do I actually know and what I don't know? But the biggest difference is that it's the choices you make every single day that changes your frequency. So when you've gone for an awakening and you start seeing through the bullshit out there, you start eating different foods, for example, because you no longer want to eat animals that have been tortured to death. Because you feel the pain, you see on a deeper level. It's not just, oh, protein, like you've been told. It's, you know, you see, oh my God, that being has literally gone through all this chaos that exists within the matrix of that being. You know, just like how you still carry the scars around you from your past, you know. everything you've done in your life up to this point, all the actions, all the things that you've been through, is created the energetic field of who you are now, and your vibe attracts your tribe. Meaning everything is a reflection from within, and when you start to change, everything starts to change around you. So the magician has embarked on a journey, whereas the other, the basic human being hasn't gone on a journey. It's just doing what it's been told, it's going along, you do the things that everyone else is doing, you just want to fit in, that sort of surface level. But when you're a magician, you're like, hang on a minute, I'm starting to see through the Matrix a little bit. You're becoming Neo in the Matrix, basically, if you've seen that film. You're starting to go on your own adventure in life. You're taking action, you're taking a leap of faith. And now you start to have your own unique new experiences. Now you have your own stories to tell. Now when you talk to people, you've got an authentic story to tell them. They haven't heard this before because it's come from you. It's not come from a book. Oh yeah, I've read that book. Oh yeah, I've seen that movie. No, it's not like that anymore. You haven't seen my movie. You haven't seen my movie, the one I'm in. You're seeing it now though. But this is my point. My point is, the magician, your frequency when you're a magician is you're taking full responsibility for yourself. You're taking full responsibility for the outcomes in your life. And the way I do this is I keep two visions, right? I keep the eagle vision. The eagle is about seeing your life from an outside perspective. You look, there's only three things, isn't there? You've got the past, you've got the present, and you've got the future. The eagle sees all, and it knows what happened in the past has happened, right? And it's led you to where you are right now. You are an accumulation of all of your actions right now. That's what's created your energetic field, and then you've got the future, and the eagle sees the future as well, which you can see also. And I'll tell you how you see it. You don't start predicting it, you start creating it, right? That's how you see the future. You create the future, right? By realizing the power of your choices right now. And when your choices start to change, your consciousness starts to change. Because if you, for example, if you start eating really healthy, have you ever noticed if you eat, rubbish all the time, junk food all the time, you'll start to feel sluggish and lazy, and just it weakens you. But if you start to eat really clean and healthy all the time, oh my God, now you're thinking better, you're thinking more clearly, right? That's your choices that change your consciousness. So if you want to change into a magician consciousness, we're talking about being a manifester. We're talking about manifestation, right? Manifestation is all about being conscious with your choices, because you know that your choices are creating your future. Manifestation is actually very simple. When we talk about creating a reality, changing our reality, law of attraction, all we're really talking about is, okay, what do you want? And what will it take for me to get that? And what will I have to do now in order to make that reality a possibility? Because if you think about it, when we're having that eagle vision and you're seeing your life from the outside perspective, you've got a limited amount of time as Sam. I've got a limited amount of time as who I am right now. Even if you believe in reincarnation and all that, you still have a limited amount of time in this body as this person, as who you are right now. And as you get older and older and older, the windows of opportunity start to close. And this isn't just about you becoming a certain job that you want or achieving your dreams and your goals in life. This is just about you taking power back for your life. Think about all the people that you love, all the things that you wish you had the courage to do that you haven't done, and the people that you need to go and say sorry to. Did you say thank you to that person? Right now, you have the opportunity. You can literally just phone that person and say sorry. But one day that person might not be here anymore, and you miss that opportunity. So we have to realize the importance and the sacredness, how precious this moment is. And the magician realizes this. I don't take my life for granted. The magician does not take his life for granted. The magician is aware of how precious and sacred this moment is. And when you start to see the details of life. They say the devil is in the details, but all of your dreams and your success in life and just literally your spiritual journey is in the details. You know, let me give you an example, because you don't want to waste your time. Time is your currency, right? Time and energy. You don't want to waste your time and energy. That's the real currency. Like, for example, I might come to the beach. This is about time and energy. You know, the magician, he comes to the beach and he packs all his stuff in his bag, and he prepares his bag accurately. He knows what's in there, right? I know I'm going to put if I'm packing my bag full of stuff, I don't want the key to my vehicle, my bike, right at the bottom, do I? The magician puts it in a nice place for his future self to appreciate later, right? Whereas, you know, the old me, before I had a spiritual awakening, before I realized how sacred my time and energy was, before I had that self-respect and self-love for my journey and myself and everyone around me, before I took that responsibility, I wouldn't have done that. I wouldn't have cared about the future self so much. I would have just shoved all my stuff in the bag, got to the beach, chill out. Oh, thank God I made it. Lovely. I can relax. And then I go to, oh shit, I've got to go. What the hell? What's the time? I look at the time. I go to find my key so that I can get on my bike and go. Oh no, now I've got to waste time looking for the key. But now I know where the key is and I'll get it. And I'm like, thank you, Sam. Thank you, my past self, because you're helping me out in the future right now. So do something today that your future self will thank you for. Another thing that you need to know if you're a magician is that your thoughts are creating your reality. You know, just like how everything you eat is becoming a part of your being. Everything you eat and everything you see is coming in to your eyes are a window to your soul. So if you just are hanging around with negative shit all the time, it's hard for you to be an alchemist and transform all that whilst in that situation. You can, and you must, and you will, right? But eventually you'll get to the point where I need to stop allowing this toxic shit into my environment because it's having a drain on me, right? That's what the magician does. It's not just about the thoughts, it's about the actions, right? That's the wisdom. But also the magician knows that the thoughts that he's having is not always his own, right? The thoughts you're having are not always your own. You know, the other day I was climbing up up to this lagoon, all right? I'm climbing all these rocks and stuff. And I got to this point and I had this thought, like, what if it thunderstorms when I'm in there and it floods? And then I was having all these and I was thinking to myself, I bet everyone thinks this when they get to this point. You've climbed so far, you've still got a long way to go. You realize it's a challenge. You realize, oh my God, there is actual danger here. And then you have this thought. And because I had that thought, it's like a natural human instinct. When you get to that level, everyone has this thought. And then I went to the lagoon, came back, and on the way back, I literally heard someone say out loud to his mates the same thought that I had about what if it floods and there's a thunderstorm and all this sort of stuff, at exactly the same point as what I had it. My point is, thoughts are going out into the atmosphere, and if a country, for example, keeps having really negative thoughts all the time, then a war is more easy to manifest in that space. And just like in that time when I was climbing up to the lagoon, everyone has that thought at that time. So everyone else, sometimes you can walk somewhere and you can come into a thought bubble that's not even yours, and you're having these thoughts, and it's like, so the magician is aware of his thoughts and he thinks in the language of integrity. The magician thinks in the language of integrity, right? Meaning, are these thoughts in alignment with my values? Are they in alignment with my values? I'm aware of my thoughts. And sometimes I'll start doubting myself, and I realize that doubt is draining my energy. So I'm aware of how my certain thoughts are affecting my being and my experience. If it's draining my energy, then I'm not going to put 100% into my video or into my day or whatever it is that I'm doing. But if I'm aware of my thoughts and I stop doubting myself and I realize that I've got the heart of a lion, I realize that I'm a magician, I realize that I can be a successful YouTuber, I will be a successful YouTuber, and I must be a successful YouTuber, or whatever it is, that's my attitude towards it. You know, I know that I must be successful in my journey because I've got the eagle vision. I'm aware of my past. I'm not just my past, but my ancestors that come before me. I am aware of like my grandma, my granddad, and my parents and their parents. You know, these people will come before you, and you sort of stand on their shoulders. You've got a responsibility. You know, I'm grateful for everything they've done because it's given me the opportunity to be here right now, like Martin Luther King. And once you tap into this energy that I'm talking about today, Martin Luther King, he was a magician. You know, Les Brown, Eric Thomas, right? There's loads of people out there today even, you know, and there's so many masters that have come before us, and the same spirit lives within us. If you are a magician, the same spirit lives within you, and we have a responsibility to create change in this reality. So the magician is aware of his environment. He's aware of the real life situation that's going on. That's what spiritual awakening is. It's about reality, right? About what is real. And what is real is that clearly there's been a spell put on humanity over time. And like I said, if you want to put a spell on someone, just control their environment, right? It's not hard. And I've done videos on this many times. My work as a spiritual shaman myself is to help remove the spell from people, from humanity, and help you to come into your center point so that you can create the reality you want. Because a spell acts as a filter, right? Your heart is an auric field and generating your experience within the holographic reality we call Earth, right? And if there's a spell on you, it's like this, there's something around your heart, and they're programs that is acting as a filter, as a lens, and you're seeing through the lens, and now you're manifesting reality within the realm of probability and possibility. You're decoding your reality from this spell as a filter. So it's affecting what shows up in your life. But as a sort of center point coach, that's how I see myself, my job is to help you get to the center of the situation so that there is no lens anymore. So you create your reality from your heart. And the way you know that you are doing this is that, are you in a state of evolution? Because just like everything else on this earth, the flowers, the plants, the seeds, everything is growing, right? Everything is always evolving. And the same with your thoughts. If you keep thinking the same thing over and over again, you're watering these seeds, and your mind is like fertile soil, right? And every thought you have, you're watering it, and eventually it is becoming a way of being. It's becoming a new lens on, like a new filter for the way that you perceive reality. And the same with your consciousness. You know, you are always evolving. The way that you evolve is that you have to be in a state of progression. You have to be facing your fears and getting out your comfort zone. That is how you evolve your spirit. And the spirit is all about the will, that what is pushing you in life. You know, what is it that makes you get up and go and do things in life? Many people give into this way of thinking of, because spirit exists beyond duality, that somehow duality doesn't affect us anymore. But you are a human being as well. Yes, you are a spiritual being. That's what the magician knows. He's connected to the source of all things. My will is in alignment with the natural laws that exist because I've studied reality, because I know reality. I've aligned my will to it, my actions to it, and what I'm doing in my life is aligned with the natural laws that exist, right? The laws of cause and effect. Every effect has a cause, right? Just like all of your actions aligned you to where you are right now, and it's affected your energy and what you affect and what the effects are of that, what the hologram brings for you. But the magician is also aware that he's on this ground also, and he's a part of this mother, you know, I'm a part of Mother Earth. I am a part of nature. I am part of nature. I am nature. And right now, if you haven't realized, Mother Earth is being raped, right? And the animals are being heavily abused everywhere. And people are under a spell where they don't know themselves. And you guys know the story. I don't need to go through it. But the point is, as a magician, he's actively involved in being a magician in this world. So, you know, it's not just about what I'm manifesting in my life. Say I need a new place, you know, a new place to stay. I don't just think, oh, I'll just get the cheapest one. I can say to myself, I am manifesting I am open to receiving a wonderful new location at a price I can easily afford, then I can manifest something that I actually want, rather than just get given what life has to give to me. You have the power to attract what you want in your life through your thoughts and through your actions, and taking that leap of faith, letting love guide you, not fear, and being courageous. But you also are able to align yourself to the will of the source, and that will guide you into some unknown territory, and you'll be doing work that is very much needed right now. Because think about it, I know a lot of people have this calling, you want to make YouTube videos, or you want to share your message with the world, and I think that this is just part of spirituality. When you research all the time, and you find out all this knowledge and this information about reality, it's almost a moral responsibility to share that knowledge, And I feel that many people out there have gifts within them that must be shared with the world, because the gifts you have, were given to you, and when you take full responsibility for yourself, and you are being real with yourself, so you're being authentic with yourself. Remember, authenticity is about being the author of your own reality. That's the same frequency. If you're being real with yourself, only you and your connection to the source, or your connection to God, whatever you want to call it, that's the connection we're talking about. And only you know that connection,